More. See you at noon Eastern on Saturday. Back to you, MJ.
Rich, thanks. And of course, Rich and the crew are back tomorrow for rounds 4 through 7. But let's welcome in our crew here. MJD on the big stage with me in studio, also joined by former receiver Andrew Hawkins, a.k.a. Hawk, as well as our front office experts, Mark Ross and Thomas Dimitrov. All right, guys, we have to start with the whole quarterback situation here. We heard them talk a little bit about that Texans selection. 8 quarterbacks taken thus far. Very interesting here. David Mills was taken there. Raise a few eyebrows, MJD. What kind of message do you think this is sending?
I don't think it raises eyebrows at all. I think Deshaun Watson was very vocal about not wanting to be in Houston. And so you have that part of it. Then you obviously have the civil side of what's going down there as well. And if you're a team and an organization, you have to have insurance. You have to protect yourself. You have Tyrod Taylor for 1 year on a 1-year contract. And then you have Davis Mills to come in and be that successor, the guy that's going to be able to go. Now, what I love about this is he doesn't have a lot of experience, but he has the chance to sit and learn and watch. I've been kind of tough on quarterbacks that don't play a lot of college football because experience to me is the #1 thing at the quarterback position. If you haven't seen enough coverages, if you haven't seen enough defenses, if you haven't seen enough blitzes, it's hard to try to adapt on the fly. But here, the Texans, you know, they had to go with a pick here. The quarterbacks were starting to run off the board, and they made a pick.
Well, when you go into a draft, the front office, the coaches, they get together and say, what can we do now to help our team for the now, but also for the future? And to me, Houston taking a quarterback first is saying, what are we going to do for the future? As MJD mentioned, Tyrod Taylor is there. Davis Mills certainly not ready to play right now, maybe not even for a year or two. So Houston is really trying to ensure the future in case things go really bad there with the Deshaun Watson situation. So you'll look for that, Tyrod Taylor, to be the bridge if Davis Mills is ready. But again, the front office is always looking out for what is the general welfare of our team, of the entire organization as a whole. And I think this does signal that maybe there is something that they're worried about, and we need to start planning to move forward.
Caserio, in his debut as a GM and in Patriot fashion, right, has everyone back on their heels a little bit. I love it. I think it's a really interesting and good pick for them. I think Nick Caserio and department there have to make sure that they have security. That's the theme today, right, in the last couple days with quarterbacks. Put him in a spot to grow and learn. He's not ready now. And hopefully he'll have a situation cleaned up there. I'm talking about Nick Caserio in Houston, that they will have a quarterback to go into the future, not only Davis Mills, but hopefully get things settled with the quarterback now.
All right, let's jump in here to some other big moments of the night. Mark Ross, what stood out to you?
Well, let's stick with the quarterback theme, MJ, and that's with Kyle Trask going at number 64 there to the Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. When I evaluated Kyle Trask, he had a very similar skill set as Mac Jones, who went 15th. So when I looked at those guys, I thought they were very similar in their talent, in their skill level, and also in production. Some areas Kyle Trask was even more productive, had 43 touchdown passes, which led to FBS. Mac Jones had 41 with an extra game. So I think this is the perfect situation for Kyle Trask. And when you talk about value, I'd much rather have Kyle Trask at 64 than Mac Jones at 15. So I think Mac Jones may play earlier, but Kyle Trask for the long run may be the better pick.
Well, sticking with the quarterback theme, I'm going with disgruntled quarterbacks who are already in the league and their teams not caring about what they want. We've seen Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay Packers, go get a corner in the first round. Understanding, we've been saying for years, for Aaron Rodgers to get weapons around him. With the news yesterday, him not wanting to be there, that was surprising. And then today, the Seattle Seahawks and Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson talked about him being sick of getting hit. So what do the Seahawks do with their first pick of the draft? They go draft another wide receiver, and Dwayne Eskridge. And I think he's a great wide receiver. He's one of the short guys, man. And as you've seen the short receiver trend, that thing is up. Our stock is up, and I love him. But in the Seahawks situation, you got to go get someone to protect Russell, keep him happy, and keep him healthy.
I love it. I mean, you guys are talking about skilled positions, and I want to go to the big dudes right now. I want to go to offensive line, the first 5 picks in the first round, moving along. Then all of a sudden there was a barrage, and everything was going kind of crazy in that second round. One after another, every other pick, there was an offensive lineman. understand the importance of O-line as an organization goes. You're sitting there beside your owner as a general manager, and you're convincing him to take one of those big money guys was a good thing to do in the first round. You start getting worried as these O-linemen start coming off of the table, and you start thinking things. So then you reach out. You have a situation like the Falcons did with Jalen Mayfield, and Jalen's obviously his workouts and his off season was a little bit off the beaten path, so to speak, and he's in a situation where he hopefully will come in there and help. I know they are looking for a left guard. There's a hole there in that offensive line. They lost Alex Mack, of course. You know, they're going to have Hennessy playing at center. They need to continue to firm up that offensive line at Atlanta. We know it well. This may be the guy that can continue to help him, even though his offseason wasn't exactly what people wanted.
All right, guys, 7.
Rams saying hang it in the Louvre. Rams draft house.
You know what that's like? That's like a federal building where the president's picture's up everywhere.
Is that like,
if you're in an NFL building, the commissioner's picture's got to be up.
Did they draft Uga too? What is that? Is that a bulldog?
Well, you notice they kept it there, and it's not at the draft. Is that at the draft house? Is that a dog at the draft house?
Two dogs.
Looks like it.
Two dogs.
So guess what? They paid a little extra on the deposit.
Yeah. It's a
That's allowed.
VRBO.
That's allowed.
We'll find out who number 2 on draft night was. What are you saying? Oh my gosh. We're getting loose. We got 3 picks to go. Here's the third to last pick. Rams, Ravens, Broncos. All picks are all in, so Donna Ponte is going to be doing a lot of walking to and fro. All 3 picks are in, so the night is essentially over. We just need to know who the last 3 are.
With the 103rd pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Rams select Ernest Jones, linebacker, South Carolina.
This is one of my guys. I think Ernest Jones is going to be outstanding, and they've been starved for some linebackers there for the Rams.
He just hit you, DJ.
No, he is physical, man. You talk about what he can do off the ball. You'll see him rush off the edge. He's got long arms. And what he did against Kyle Pitts at the line of scrimmage, Kyle Pitts was much better, more competitive this year as a blocker. But Ernest Jones got after him a little bit in that football game. And he's what, in scouting, we use the phrase stopping power. When he hits you, it is over. You go right to the ground. So that physicality to go along with his range and versatility, I love that pick. I'd be in a great mood staying in that house no matter what, but I'm loving this pick.
Especially now.
You notice on the deck chairs they had the pads that you use in the blocking, right?
Yeah.
Ernest Jones just ran through a few of those. I mean, this
Knocked
dude
him right into the pool.
Right, this dude brings major league thump, and you see the pursuit to the football. Just what DJ's talking about. That sideline to sideline, he'll get at you in any situation.
He can cover now too. It's not just against run. This dude can cover. This is a good football player.
You saw the pick. Yeah. I mean, you had to pick on the highlight film. This guy gets at it.
Led him in tackles back-to-back seasons, and it's not just the fact that he's a great run defender and pass, but he diagnoses really well. You know, so he feels the game and he's in his gap. He fits really well. He's just a good football player, like you were saying, DJ.
All right, so now here come the Ravens with their selection. They should just let Dawn stay out there. And there's a lot of... Oh, she's getting her steps in today, I guess. Look out! Careful. The squirrel dance almost got the executive.
With the 104th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Brandon Stevens, defensive back, SMU.
Yeah, and she said defensive back because I'm curious. He was a former running back at UCLA, transfers to SMU. He played corner, and he's a thick, muscled-up corner. You see him listed at 213 pounds. Here's what he was doing at UCLA. You see him in the backfield as running back. Not a bad running back at all. But he transfers. He played pretty well at corner once he got out there to SMU. You can see what type of athlete he is once